and change. So that's a huge one. And then the fourth one is waiting until later to live a passionate life. And taking that example you had of a mother, a single mother, she's raising kids and stuff. It kind of goes back to just taking out that little bit of time to create that compelling vision, and the compelling vision and the purpose and the passion, even in the midst of doing what they're doing, because they are heroes in taking on, working in a job, taking care of the kids. And if they change their perspective that this is what I'm doing, this is my passion, I love my kids, and I'm here for them in this period of time, and they create something that is out there 5 years that will pull them through it and have them take actions that will change things. So, and that's some of the things that I do as a coach. The one thing I did want to mention, though, is, and this applies to us as well as anybody else going through suffering, how do we help ourselves? How do we help them get out of the suffering? And it really is an interesting question because, when people are suffering, our automatic response, especially around our kids, is to help them end it ASAP. When we're suffering, we want to end ours, get rid of the pain ASAP, as do the people around us that love us. But I don't know what your experience is, Gail, but some of the biggest periods of growth in my life and in others that I've seen are when they're going through the tough times. It's when we learn the most about ourselves. It gives us impetus to change. And I love the butterfly metaphor that I heard many years ago. When a caterpillar starts going through metamorphosis process of changing into a beautiful butterfly, it forms a cocoon. And inside the cocoon, during the process, the cells of the caterpillar are rearranging. It's a gooey mess. So if in this process you saw the caterpillar going through this messy time and broke into the cocoon, wanting to help the caterpillar, you would kill it and stop it from becoming a beautiful butterfly. So if we stop the people, including ourselves, from going through the tough times to learn lessons and grow from it, we stop them from becoming a greater person. Now, and the lesson is it's okay to go through tough times. It's natural to growing into a much greater, powerful life if you look at it from the right perspective. So the best thing that we can do, and I do this as a coach, is I give them the space, I give them the courage, I give them the permission to go through this messy time, and give them the structure and the way to pull out of themselves the things that the vision that they want to create for themselves, and the steps to get there.
Well, I do think everything you're saying is so important, but you also told me while we were preparing for this show that you were involved in a project to make a big difference in the world and bring some of these concepts you've talked about to people's awareness. Would you like to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, that would be great. And this is a project I'm very passionate about. The project is called Change Your World, Change the World. It's a movement to help all of us reclaim our power to make a difference in our lives and the lives of others. One of the reasons why I got started, I've admired many inspirational leaders over my life, and one of them was Mahatma Gandhi, and just an amazing man who caused great change by and through others peacefully, and by his example. And his saying, which still gives me goosebumps when I read it, is, "You must be the change you wish to see in the world." And he didn't just say it; he lived it, and he was. And again, that was the inspiration for this movement. The core purpose of the movement is to change our perspective of where real powerful change comes from, and to share ways on how to create a passionate life from the inside out, and then how to live that life from this perspective, having a major impact on the world, individually and as a larger group. So joining is free, and it's okay to say that you can join the movement by going to www.changeyourworld, CYWCTW, which are the letters of Change Your World, Change the World.com.
Okay, so if people want to get in touch with you, they can go to this website. Let me give it again. It's www.cywctw.com. And then if
Yes.
they wanted to get in touch with you personally, Ron, where would they do that?
The email address is on that website as well.
Oh, fantastic. That's great. Well,
Yep.
now, if you were to leave us with one thought, Ron, what would that be?
Um, I'm gonna quote a person who unfortunately has passed away just recently, and it's Wayne Dyer, who I admired greatly for his perspectives from when I was a very young kid with his first book. But he once said, "Don't die with the music still in you," and that's I think it's a relatively recent saying, and I so believe in those words of wisdom. You know, that it's really important to take action in your life right now, starting today, to move to a life of your dreams, and it's never ever too late.
Well, I happen to agree with you. I happen to think that it's a shame. They always talk about people on their deathbed never saying, I wish I had worked more. You know, they are always saying, I wish I had done this or done that or spent more time with my family or whatever it happens to be. So I do think there
Yep.
are a lot of people who do die with the music in them, which is very, very sad. But, uh, I think that I'd like, since this is a show about living life without regret, what are some of the things people can do to live without regret?
Well, I think it's the four things that I mentioned, and I'll just run through them real quick. One is to take personal responsibility for everything in your life, absolutely everything. The second is to create your personal vision. You can make it a real stretch for you out about 5 years. People have a tendency to overestimate what they can accomplish in 1 year, but they way underestimate what they can accomplish in 10 years. So be bold. And then the third is to live present right now. This is where all your power lies to create the life of your dreams. And think about where your thoughts are. Think about where your focus is, and really pay attention on a day in and day out basis. You'll find that right now, and again, you can change this by focusing more on the present. Your focus is on the future of the past. And then finally, and then the last is always live your passion. Always. If you do, you'll never want to retire. You may want to change things you're passionate about, but if you're living a passionate life, why would you ever want to quit? And I always admired those people that were 80 or 90 and they were still going into work. And you talk to them, and you say, "Why are you still going to work? You're well-to-do. You don't need to." And they said, "Why not? I love what I do."
That's exactly right. I mean, I always say I'll never retire, and I truly believe that. I truly believe
Yep.
that. So
Yep.
let me give your information again, Ron, so people will know how to be in touch with you. If
Yep.
you want to reach Ron, his website is www.cywctw.com. His email is on there if you want to be in touch with him. And if you're looking to make a transformation in your life and you want someone to help guide you to this, Ron's the perfect person. And I think it's you said a very important statement, and that was people overestimate what they can do in a year and underestimate what they can do in 10 years. I never really looked at it that way, but that is the truth. So don't let yourself die with your music within you. Make sure that you do you do the things that you want to do and make the right choices, and that's again another thing I think that's important is learning to make the right choices. So Ron, thanks so much for being with us today, and I think you left us with a wonderful message. So thanks so much.
Thank you, Gail. Thank you for having me.